Come on, focus. Okay, so there was a comment on my last video, and the comment looks like it got disappeared. I don't know if YouTube disappeared it, but I can see it, but if nobody else can see this comment. So I want to read the comment, and then I'm going to read my reply. So it's a very good comment by New York City Songman, right? So I think it got deleted, right? So I'm going to read it. It says, I'm not. Hold on one second. Just a moment. Let me get some glasses on. About to knock everything over. Water and everything. And then this person can reply, because I don't know if they can reply back to me after I think that the comment got deleted. Just a moment. Okay, let's see. So it says, I'm not so sure about the idea of government wanting society to break down spirit. He says, to me, that is pretty inconceivable. I can't imagine a reason why the collapse of the U.S. would be a goal for its leaders. Secondly, as I've said over, hold on one second, just a moment. Let me sit up. Hush. He says, secondly, as I've said over more than once, he says the black manosphere is not and never will be mainstream or the way to the big time. There's a series of gatekeepers and lint traps that will ensnare and dispose of extreme and offensive rhetoric. However, it hasn't happened yet. So it's not been squashed. It's been happening. It's been going on for more than 10 years, I can say, because I've been on YouTube for a long time. So it's been happening for more than 10 years, that's for sure. And it has not gotten squashed. So there is definitely a theme and a purpose to pushing this propaganda. So that's my point I want to say to that comment. Let me continue to read. It says, the moment that a sphere stalking horse like KS pokes his head up out of the YouTube chitlet circuit, his ass will be blowtorched from out behind him by the likes of the Gayle Kings, the Whoopies, and the Good Morning Americas, and he and his bogus points will be dispatched quick, fast, and in a hurry. People like KS all they are is they're tools. I want to say they're tools. So it's a tool for the system, and that's what is exactly been happening, right? So they're not going anywhere. They're just a tool. They get put back in the toolbox. There's nothing happens. So each even Good Morning America, even Gayle King, even the Whoopies and stuff, because they're in mainstream media, they're all tools for the system, and the system does what it wants to do, and it pulls out every tool in its arsenal that it wants to use when it's got something or an agenda to move through the masses. So let me continue. He says, so not to worry. Throughout the past, I've seen such wrong-headed and extreme ideas come and go. Yeah, I have too. However, there's always an agenda behind this. And then the person says, insofar as there being a palpable schism between men and women, well, there may be. He says, I see it as society being in the midst of a perhaps century-long shakeout period as both genders grapple and struggle to reconcile with the new, forever changed paradigm. He goes on to say, let me go down here. He goes on to say, I'd be shocked if the matter were reasonably settled within my own lifetime. So great has been the revolution in the recognition of civil and human rights. So I gave him a star because the comment is an excellent comment. However, this was my point to him. I said, great comment. However, our government and the collective of world governments get a big win by doing a superstructure reset. And that reset is done through financial collapse, mass death, through biochemical warfare, wars, and through complete chaos in community breakdowns via breaking strong families, no matter the racial structure. So if people cannot see what is playing out here in society, I don't know what to tell them, because there are so many distractions, for one, and people not being on their purpose, too. And I mean, where I'm at as a feminist is pulling back. Like, there's no point in continuing to be in groups and dysfunctional relationships. There's no point for women to be in those type of relationships, because if men aren't about that purpose, and I listened to a panel that happened. Apparently my name was brought up a million times. For some reason, my name is always brought up, and I've never spoken to none of these men, but they're continually bringing my channel name up. And I rarely do content. So, and when I listen to the live stream, right? It's a group of men, and there's not one goddamn thing got settled. Not one thing was beneficial. Nothing was said that was beneficial. I mean, one person did say something that was beneficial. I won't get into his channel name because I'm not about dropping channel names like that, but the majority of the men on the panel, it was all bravado, and it was all bullshit. And I think that knowing the women in the space that I speak to, they're pretty much tired of it. I'm tired of it. And it doesn't, it goes beyond any racial dynamic. Women are tired of it, because nothing has changed. I brought up a comment on Big J's panel, and what I said was, we've had more than 2,000 years, right, of men controlling the globe, controlling communities, controlling governments, and nothing really beneficial has come out of any of those control mechanisms in a dysfunctional patriarchy. I have said this over and over and over again. So you have ancient civilizations that have broke down through Mesopotamia, all through the Asiatic countries, where there is a patriarchy. It can't sustain itself. And my thing is, and I already know the governing system and mechanisms that are in our government and governments across the globe at this point in time in history, nothing good is coming out of these governing systems. Nothing that is patriarchal run is coming. Is there any good coming out of it? For one, none of them respect women. They don't respect what women bring to the table as the co-creators of the universe. They don't respect it. And when you don't respect women who are co-creators in the universe, it's not a sustainable system. It's never going to be a sustainable system. And it's going to break down. And what we are seeing right now, you have people that are doing actual control systems, right? That are in power. So they're igniting certain things. It's like doing flash burns to prevent major areas from burning, right? So they do flash burns, grassland burns, that type of thing. When you're talking about this system structure, they're doing those type of burns in society. And if people don't think that there's going to be a collapse, there is going to be a collapse. However, there can be, if you're aware of what's happening, you can prevent the devastation. The unfortunate thing, you have a bunch of men on here who don't want to prevent the devastation. They want carnage. They want carnage, not for themselves, but it will be for them also. They want that carnage for women. And especially the talking points have been against black women. So they want that type of carnage. They are very hateful spirited males. I don't want to call them men because in my mind they are not men. And they want the carnage. They want suffrage. They don't care if children are in the mix of it, muddled up into that carnage. They want it. They love it. They desire it. So my point is, women are getting to understand, or really understanding their nature, their complete nature. And because they are starting to understand that nature, they're pulling back. They're pulling back, and they know what they've got to do as women. Especially if they're women that have children, young children. So that was the comment that took place on my last video. It disappeared. I don't know how it disappeared. I didn't delete it. I don't know if YouTube did it, if it was a form of censoring, but I just wanted to bring the comment to light in my response. And I appreciate his comment or her comment. Anyways, good night.